Welcome back to the Govrnor Show. The Govrnor Show is dedicated to board enthusiasts and aims to debunk the myth around board governance. The Govrnor Show is a series of weekly episodes featuring talented and experienced guests who will share their experience with us about board governance. My today's guest is Thomas Goubau. Welcome, Thomas. It's a pleasure to have you here today.
Thank you.
You can take off your mask. Thank you. Thomas, let me introduce you properly first. You are the Chief Customer Officer of Let's Build, a construction management software that helps to connect field and office. Before that, you were the founder and CEO of Approplan, which was the leading Belgian construction management app. And to help our audience to understand the context, in the beginning of 2019, you made a decision that Approplan and Genibel, a Danish company, merged into one company, Let's Build. Is that correct?
Yes, completely correct.
Okay, Thomas, we do have an object for you today. We hand over an object to our guest, and the object we decided to hand over to you is a bridge.
Thank you.
Here you go.
Thank you very much.
And I will describe the object for you, which is representing, I think, your personality. The bridge is a symbol of communication and union. It may also be a symbol for travel and crossing. As you are working in a sector that is closely related to the construction and manufacturing sector, bridges are common. But also because your core business is to bridge or connect construction by fully digitalizing the construction phase, and last but not least, because merging companies is somehow creating a bridge between two expertise. We thought this object is representing you well.
Thank you.
So you can place the object on the tables, thank you. And the topic of the day is at the heart of the merge of a company. And my first question for you is the following. From founder of your company to chief commercial officer of a group, what has been your journey?
Well, the experience is, of course, a roller coaster, but on itself, you go from, the reason why we've done it is because it made sense for our customers first. So our customers, what we were doing with Approplan, we saw really the limitations, what on the other side Klaus and Genibel were doing, but we were solving the same problem for our customers. So it made a lot of sense, and actually Klaus reached out to me back in 2014 already, and we had a number of interactions. It clicked very well personally between us. Also our teams overall were very complementary. Product-wise and geographically we were very complementary. So that's why it just makes sense.
Klaus is the CEO of Genibel,
yes,
right?
Klaus was the CEO of Genibel, and so we gathered together at a summer house during 2 days where we basically initially prepared the plan. And during that first meeting, we had this discussion about, okay, who is going to do what? And for most of the people, it was pretty obvious in the team. As we said, we're a complementary team, so it was easy. But between us, we didn't want to go for CEO or co-CEOs or that thing. That never works. And I have to admit, I mean, Klaus was the CEO of Just Eat, brought him from Denmark to the UK, and going from 20 to 1,500 people. So and done that 2 or 3 times. So it was logical that he became the CEO. And on the other hand, the big challenge for a company that wants to scale is commercial. So having this commercial strategy, commercial product strategy is key. So I thought it was a good challenge.
Yes, and I think you know what you're talking about, right, Thomas?
We try to.
We often hear mergers provide a unique opportunity to improve broad processes and dynamics. What do you think about that?
So for sure it changes the dynamics at both executive and board level.
Yeah.
We decided to not change the board nor the executive team when we merged. So we kept the whole executive team and the whole board. But from the executive team, we have seen a few of our colleagues leave because of the size, because of different things. So now we were 8, now we're 5.
All right.
And at board level, I think we're 11, which at our size it's maybe a little bit too much, but it's something that will probably change with a new investor coming.
All right.
When it comes down to processes, apart from the obvious travel between one board in Brussels and one board in Copenhagen, or through Zoom now with COVID, what we had to do is to align everybody again around, okay, what is the joint view or vision that this company has? What is the 1 + 1 is 3? What does it really mean? Also because, it was an idea that we had, and then you have the first 12 or 18 months where you test that idea with customers, you validate it, but you also need to fine tune it. And having the board with us around that has been one of the important things we've done. And it's not always easy to do because you have different board members that are more or less involved in the sector. And so having this common view is something that took us some time. Because some board members are, I'm going to say, not professional, but they have analysts, typical VCs, who feed information about competition, trends, and so on, whereas other board members have other strengths, but they don't have this kind of backing. So making sure everybody has the same information and share the same vision.
Bringing back the context on the table.
And also, I mean, board members, except for in crisis like Corona, but otherwise we meet them once a quarter. So making sure that once you go into a board meeting, everybody has the same background and context to go and make the right decisions is a tricky, can be a tricky part.
Sure, that's very interesting because actually it's a common pain of many boards I experience myself. So very interesting your insight there. What are the mistakes to avoid in a merger?
So I think merger is always a risk. A risk that you lose talent, a risk that you get distracted. On top of that, we had COVID, but I think we were very lucky that we didn't lose a lot of talent or people. One, I think also Klaus, with the experience he has, because with Just Eat, he did, I think 20 or 30 M&A transactions. So he really focused on the culture, on building the story, on making sure we didn't lose all this. And I don't think I would have been able to do what he has done for the company on itself. Keeping the glue. Because, you can lose too early founders. We lost some, but 2 years later. So the impact on the organization is different. You can lose a whole team, which has significant impact. If you take too much time to define the vision, some people might lose trust. So there's a lot of these things that are, I would say, important, that you only realize after the fact that we have done them. And I have to say, we need to give credit to where credit is due. So Klaus has done a lot of that. Some of the more operational aspects are, for me, the first week we started, we've defined what are the next 4 boards. On that, we have said 2 weeks before we had the executive meetings extended, and then we had the VPs. So everything was basically mapped on the board meetings that we had. And that helps, especially just after a merger, to put a cadence very quickly into the company that, okay, you already have a board in 2 months.
And sometimes exec participate to presenting at board level what they have done. You inviting some expert there of exec or things like that.
So Klaus and I and the CFO Lars are on the board because both of us have a seat. Lars because he's the CFO and also has the whole note taking and actions and so on that comes out of it. And then, for example, Bob, our CTO, comes into our in that section of when it comes to the product updates, and the board can also ask the questions. Same goes for some of the other.
There is a close link between the exec team and the board then. By close link.
I have no comparison. I would say it like that because, but I would say there is no problem for us to reach out, or anybody to reach out to a board member to ask. We have some. Pavel, for example, who is one of the board members, has a lot of experience commercially. There's no problem for me to reach out directly. So I don't think there's that. We're not at that size either.
Okay, I see.
And maybe one of the last points, of what we've added is, and probably the best one, is we have a new chairman who came after the merger.
All right.
And I mean, Alex, that's Alex Brabers, who is pretty well known, I think, in Belgium. But the experience and expertise that he has flattened out all possible disconnects between the old two companies, because he doesn't come from any of the companies.
Of course.
And yeah, Alex has a lot of experience.
So great moderator.
Great moderator, but also because of the experience is able to channel some of the discussions that you might have. And I think having a strong chairman that is neutral and that adds a lot of...
That's key.
Post-merger is probably also one of the elements that it's always a risk, because you can always...
you never know what's going on. And
yes. But here we are, I mean, I have to say we are very lucky, and it adds a lot of peace in the board.
Very interesting. Thomas, thank you very much for your insight today.
My pleasure.
May I ask you to put this nice bridge on the Hall of Fame shelf? A very good place for...
In the center.
Exactly. Thank you very much, Thomas. Thank you for watching us. Follow us on the social media, and see you next time.